Hello, collective. Welcome to the channel. It is November 9th, 2025, and I'm back with another message. There's a group of masculines talking about replacing her. These folks are getting stripped of their credentials. There's something about a formula and aerosol spray, and these ones have been talking about vapor the last couple of months. The other day, I got message, this is the end of Anna's reign. Now, I thought it was REIGN, but somebody else suggested maybe it's Anna's reign. And when I looked up the potentials, we've got 3 Annas in the planetary like terraforming type of science involvement. So it could very well be that Anna has been seeding the clouds with some sort of a chemical, and this is some formula in an aerosol spray. They've been raining this crap down on the people. They're talking about twisting everybody. There could actually be gender twisting chemicals in this aerosol spray. One fellow is saying that they're trying to stop her, and he's saying we have to do something. Somebody is really concerned about this magistrate. She's tearing their programs and their status apart. They're being stripped of their credentials. Apparently, they said that their lives were in her hands, and she said that her life and everybody's life was in their hands, and they behaved atrociously. Sexx trafficking everybody, hurting them, eating them. They're crazy. They expect this magistrate to care about them when they and their black hearts did not care for anyone. In fact, they tried to exterminate her family, and they're there now saying that she's unqualified and irresponsible because she has no more empathy for them. They showed none to her. God is allowing her to mirror back properly what they forced her to swallow over the centuries, this nasty transference of sin that they forced her to swallow and then alchemize. It's the truth. When they look at her and they find her offensive, it's because she's mirroring back exactly what they are. They are offensive. Just like me, a younger masculine stated. They're talking about something being caustic, which is able to burn or corrode organic tissue and by chemical action. It's sarcastic and bitter. And I've heard one of these masculines talking about throwing acid in her face. These masculines are so far removed from the divine and heavenly Father who protects the mother. Wakes up from it. They're trying to harvest energy while somebody is sleeping, or they are concerned that the people are waking up from an illusion. They're going to be waking up from it. They're concerned about this. There is something about 90, and another one said ounces. So there's 90 ounces of something. Someone's questioning, no bankruptcy? So they're prying into somebody else's financial history. They're stalking people. They're talking about children, and they're talking about mixed. These people went and they purposefully tapped into the spiritual inheritance of specific tribes, and then they worked to eliminate and exterminate those other tribes. This curator is complaining about the representative. He's upset because his stuff is getting shut down. And these guys are being reprimanded for the cruelties that they have put upon humanity. And they are trying to convince other people that this representative is a devil because these brutalizers are getting cut off from the services that they have been forcing the Divine Mother Rainbow Covenant holder to give them. They're not deserving of them at all. They are incredibly cruel and have done the unforgivable against children, young virginal women, and boys. The things that they have done to their bodies and their minds and their souls are heinous. And they are actually sitting here trying to convince the crowd that this magistrate, this representative, is a devil because she's cutting them off from everything good. They don't deserve to be serviced by the mother that they threw into a hellhole and took big, big shits on, laughing like madmen. Who's the demon? They want the people to think that God's judgment that's pouring forth through her into the realm is coming from a demon. But it is the demons they've been feeding light bearing, source connected earth angels to with their sacrifices. They say that, they feel that light bearing people must be sacrificed to the dead because that's the only way the dead can have life. They don't want to wait in line for the proper alignment of Mother, Father, God, Goddess, creators of all that is, to open up a womb for them. They just want to come in and take life, demand it, control it. We got a lot of masculines out there who are very, very happy to oblige because they love harvesting energy out of a divine feminine and then going and dumping it into their succubus in a freaking walking flesh suit. This is what happens, somebody said. They went to the outer limits of cruelty, and now it's back on them. God sees their lies. They've been playing both sides and hurting his family. He's tired of them feeding on his family. Someone is saying the demons are after them. These sex trafficking, child raping, gang raping of the woman are saying demons are after them. No, honey, this is God's wrath. He's sending his scary family after you. Did you think the Most High was not connected to the lowest low? Balance, temperance. The higher you go, the more powerful you are, the bigger the boogeyman in you is. And these ones just didn't see that. So they're complaining that the demons are after them. So why did they decide to call forth and send out scary demons? Why are they complaining about the return? God said, no, 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 no. You stay away from the target. This is my family. You're going to go back to that sender there. And they're complaining about a breakdown. It's going to be a horrible da-da-da-da-da-da. And someone's talking about a death certificate. They want to sacrifice this magistrate. They want to do it bad. They want to do worse to this magistrate than they said they did to Jesus. They want to replace her. And they want to forge some documents. The curator is saying that they're being told they will not obtain this woman. They prostituted her energy, and every foul thing that they ever did to her and said about her was a lie. They vilified, they degraded, defiled, they brutalized her in the most vicious, heinous way. These are demons telling God how righteous they are. They misused the energy in a very egregious way. As far as I'm concerned, what they have done to the mother and the child has automatically excluded them from the right to enjoy the privilege of residing in that man suit. Absolutely. They have taken made in the image of God and created war with the woman and child, the mother and child, using the hand, the voice, the phallus, the fist, every other thing. And somehow they're trying to convince God and everybody else that they deserved it. I had a vision, a masculine with a hoodie walking in the dark. From the knees down, he looked to be glowing a neon green, as though he had waded in some kind of nuclear waste. And it seems to me that it might be a cloaking his steps, some kind of an energetic cloak. Now, I saw them with a blue neon liquid before, and they were saying that they were hoping that it was going to hide uh, whatever it was they were trying to do. So, whatever this green, nuclear, green, glowing thing, I think that this fellow was trying to cloak his path. So, the curator was talking about God making timeline adjustments. One masculine is saying she's authentic, and the curator is saying she needs her medicine, as though that makes her his property. Regardless of the Rainbow Covenant, the dignitary status, the representative, the chosen representative, and magistrate, the upholder of the ethical and moral laws of family, and the teacher of love, right? Keep out of the lust survival area and just kind of focus on creating stuff, bringing the energy to life. And these guys are so upset. They feel that because she takes medicine, that she is his property because that medicine belongs to him. And if she needs it so that her flesh temple can remain in balance, he feels that he owns her because he owns the medicine that is making life possible for her. So these guys, they did all of their best with these aerosols and these cloud seeding chemicals in the vapors. They've been making people sick. They've been twisting the biological status of health and well-being, this foundational, steadiness. They've been messing with it. And people go get on medicine because they're feeling a little out of sorts, and then he says, aha, I've got myself another one. Oh, fish on. And he thinks because they're taking medicine he owns them, and it doesn't matter what God says. So he's grasping at straws, and he wants everyone else to grasp at these straws too. Somebody is talking about personality. Now, whoever red rummed her, unalived her, took her life because she would not follow them. They're not men of God. These are demon rapists. She cannot recognize them as an authority because they do not have God in them. The creator, the most high creator of all that is, would not want the mother to participate in this brutality of the children. And so they took her life so that she couldn't tell daddy. They think she has an attitude problem, and they don't like her perspective on reality. She doesn't want them raping the children. She doesn't want the little girls to be married to old freaking pedophile men. These masculines have got some kind of a parasite in them, or they're simply the walking dead. needing to plug in and drain the life out of innocence and purity of the golden royal God family to keep themselves alive. I really feel that these brutalizer masculines aren't men at all. I think they're dead demons. They belong in the morgue. And instead of going where they belong, they want this mother figure to go into the morgue. And they want every woman, every child, anybody who has any light in them. You know what somebody actually posted on the website? They said that the new human doesn't have a chakra system. They said that the new human does not have a chakra system. How else are they getting their energy? They're not producing it. One of them is talking about a purifier. They don't like her attitude. Compared to that, another one said, but she needs her medicine. So they are automatically discrediting, disqualifying, rejecting God's chosen one, his magistrate, the mother. They have disqualified what God has qualified, and they have their own chosen one in line, which is not able. That their chosen one will not be able to go into the depths of hell and then be raised up, still intact and loving. Their chosen one does not have the inner fortitude to manage themselves well while under pressure from demons, which are these ones trying to put their chosen one into the position of God's chosen one. She's a high-ranking official. These guys know this and they want to replace her. They want to command her position, her identity, her authority. They want her genetics and her endorphins, those corpuscles, those blood cells. They want to do research on her mind, on her energy, and they have all kinds of mad scientist experiments they want to perform with this one. So she's a high-ranking official. She's decorated. She has received multiple medals of honor. And you can see here in the 3D that these masculines are giving these medals to other females who haven't done jack shit except dress up in fancy clothes provided to them on the blood, sweat, and tears, the suffering of sacrificed shining ones. She's decorated. And yet another one said again, she needs her medicine. So they feel they have the right to obtain, to betray, to remove her from status due to this medicine. They're complaining it's illegal. They don't believe she deserves this position. They demand to command her. She has exposed their habitual patterning of abuses. This curator is talking about relationships. They are nothing without them. They, in and of themselves, have no power. They must have a relationship with a divine feminine. They must have her permission to use her as they see fit to attack and disqualify or harm other people. They can't do it on their own. So they offer these petty little opportunities to people who are taking advantage of that rather than reaching for the Most High God and becoming what it is He wants them to be. They're betraying everything by allowing these low vibrational masculines to use their sacred gifts to harm others. It sounds like this curator is trying to be sneaky, he and his bros. She advertises herself, the curator and the gang say. So how else is anybody supposed to find their family unless they speak, unless they expose themselves, unless they come right out vulnerably and say, hey, I'm here. Where's my gang? Where's my family? Yeah, she advertises herself. Why? Because she climbed up out of that dark pit, that hole of hell that they put her in. and she's shining brightly. They can't stand it because God sees her for who and what she is, and they can't stand it. They don't want her there. She sees, she hears, she knows who and what they are and what they intend, and God doesn't particularly care for their attitude. They're talking about political structure. These masculine human traffickers are complaining that this magistrate is underqualified. The political structure that these RAPs, human traffickers, have set up, it has failed the people tremendously. It's overcomplicated. You can't understand it. It's confusing, and they like it that way because they don't want your average citizen to understand what the hell it is they're doing. It's a big ass smokescreen, and this magistrate doesn't want to apply her very golden, very royal energy to support this human trafficking system that they call political structure. That's what delegation is all about, fellas. You ask any business owner and they will tell you that the way to success is in knowing who has the qualification for whatever role you need filled within your business. Every business owner knows that your success is dependent upon the family or the people that you bring on board. There's no such thing as underqualified. There may be such a thing as you know, experience needing gained. But this magistrate has lived centuries and she has learned all about the crappy little things that you guys do. And she's gonna work it out because she's got a sisterhood and a brotherhood that are very, very intelligent, very, very skilled. And they did not choose the little tiny opportunities for a shekel from low vibrational entities that do not connect to source, creator, mother, father, most high. They're low vibrational. They feed energy into this shadow demon, the dead. They worship death, and they're very, very mad because God is on scene with this magistrate, the mother. They're furious. They want to bury all of you freaking God believers. You're worshiping the wrong God. You're supposed to be worshiping the one that gobbles you up. So these masculines are very angry, and they are quietly plotting on the energy of this magistrate. They do not want to give the mother, in any of her aspects, the mother who has the rainbow covenant with God, they do not want to give her the opportunity to fulfill her duties of nurturer, of mother. They do not want to give her the opportunity to heal and to love the little children. They want to continue ignoring them, brutalizing, twisting them and their little minds, and then training them how to hurt others and go harvest energy for their program, their political structure. It needs the energy of the unsuspecting, non-magical people and others. So they want to take everything from her and then stomp her head into a deep, dark pit of hell and then take big old shits on it. They're mad. They consider themselves wise men as they rape, pillage, and burn, and defile, and destroy everything beautiful. As they generate frequencies and vibrations of chaos and pain everywhere in the world. They want to say that this magistrate is underqualified and irresponsible. It's so freaking twisted. These guys are professional projectionists. Everything that they lack inside of themselves, which is very evident in every suffering state within the world, it's all due to their political structure. All of this suffering in the world is due to their current political structure. And they're very upset that this magistrate is tearing it down. She's like, well, this is it. God himself said that they were a failed experiment. God himself is instructing this destruction. And they're blaming the mother because she's here receiving instruction and then implementing it. And they're furious about it. They want to rape her so bad. They want to gang RP her so bad. They want to download every ounce of death energy that they have in them into this magistrate. They're not very nice at all. They want to claim this magistrate's energy and they want to use it to create war and dominate others in this realm. She wants to use her energy and her acquired dharma gained through extreme suffering to bring healing to the realm. And they are so mad about that. They don't even want to give her a chance. These are the fellas that see lack everywhere they go. Lack. They don't see potential in anything unless it's something to satisfy their phallus or something for them to eat, consume. They're needless consumers, needless feeders. They don't produce anything of benefit. All they do is destroy those things of benefit that other people who are pouring their life into creating things for life make. So then they come along and they destroy it, and then they feed the energy of that creation into their pit of hell. That they worship death. They got a succubus in their morgue, one a dick. They're all having sex with a dead woman, a succubus walking around in a flesh suit that will deteriorate. It'll decompose, and if they don't feed it their energy, they got to have sex with these bodies that don't have a chakra system. They can't supply their own energy. But apparently they're the new human. It's what these masculines choose. It's what they've chosen. They've chosen to dedicate their life force energy to these, the walking dead. The walking dead. They're no longer lying at the morgue, stiff and cold. They've found a way to give them movement and warmth, but they have to have sex and harvest the energy off of others in order to do that. And these masculines feel that they're really great at that. They love it. They're powerful. They can give life to the dead just by effing it. So these ones, they want to spill blood. They want to pound their chest about how powerful they are because they can destroy others using the person's, so their target's own energy. So it's like they trap somebody, they harvest that energy, and then they use that energy to hurt them. And they love it. It makes them feel so powerful that they can take your own life force energy and then use it to just whack you up one side and down the other to cause you failure. They can take your energy and twist it and use it to brutalize you. These sex trafficking rapists have no business removing this magistrate from God's rainbow covenant from this position. They're not divine masculines. They've been having sex with the dead for far too long. They do not have what is necessary to guide the living. They have no regard for the existence of the living. They just look at them as though they're a food source. They spit in the face of the mother. They RAP her and then KILL her every day in many different aspects throughout the world. They hate the mother. She has been brutalized by these ones who were born of her. She gave them life and they take hers away. What an exchange, right? What a great trade. They're whining, whining, and whining. They're trying to figure out how they'll remove this magistrate and command this planetary domain so that they can continue harvesting and commanding all of the energy within that domain. They're vampires. They must feed, and they've lost command of the planetary life force essence. They're furious, and they need to do whatever they can to get people to believe that this magistrate who has cut them off is somehow a demon, a devil. Because the dead can no longer feed on the living. They can no longer buy, sell, rent it out. It's forbidden. And they're furious because it's the mother directed, receiving instruction from God, bringing it manifest into this world, and they're so mad. These ones lost their status and their control because she was resurrected by the Most High God and led back into an ascension. She was given the opportunity to provide all of the testimony, firsthand testimony of centuries of brutalization for her own self and for what she has witnessed. All is known. The bridge was mended, the connection restored, and now God knows everything they did, not only to her, but to everybody else. It has been the greatest betrayal ever. And they're just whining. They're whining. They lost access to this magistrate's energy and her gifts. These same energy and gifts that gave him the power to cast this magic over the mental body of people, to put them in a slumber, a sleep, a haze. It's not working anymore. They're waking up from the magic, the spell. They're concerned. What happens when all of the people wake up from the spell? They're not able to harvest the energy like they once did. She shut it down. It's forbidden. They're losing control. People are waking up from this spell that they were casting with all of this harvested energy from the living. They don't have their own power supply. They're not their own source. They don't provide their own energy. And they are demanding to get it back by requiring the return of this magistrate so that they can control her identity, her role, and her authority over the planet and the life here. See, she wants to restore it with this golden violet light, pour in the healing to the waters, the land, and everything living, the trees, the bushes, the water, clean it up, get the poison out of it, and all of the bodies with all of the spirits and souls in them to be affected by this beautiful, loving, golden, healing light. It's just moving through the world right now. And these guys who survive on suffering and pain of the living, right? They harvest the endorphins as this elixir that keeps them young. They get the corpuscles, the red and white blood they get their transfusions every week or whatever they get it once a month. They got to go get the blood switched out in their freaking suit so that they don't rot. They're furious because this winter, Divine Feminine Mother figure stated, there will be a great falling away or something. Like these bodies, they can't feed on the energy, so their bodies, these that don't generate energy, are going to fail. They're going to fail them. They will perish. So this is what's going on right now. The magistrate has cut them off. per source instruction, and these needless feeders will they will fall away. Your energy is being protected. Um, Father God is moving through this representative with the instructions on how to restore harmony and balance. These masculines are saying that this magistrate is underqualified, and that is just not going to hold water because she is receiving divine instruction by the Most High who put her in that position. He's working through her to affect change here. She is the representative. She's not God, but she is the transmitter receiver, the divine connector, receiving the message and then manifesting it here in the realm. The energies of the suns and the stars, the family of God, must be protected. And you've got this curator and all of his masculine friends out there insisting that this magistrate is unqualified, and that is wrong. That is like saying the Most High God is unqualified. Now, we got other people out there who are jealous and envious, and they say that, you know, all the things that jealous and envious people say: cruel, careless, without empathy, petty little judgmental, childish ones insisting that it is they who should be the authority. It's sad that they feel this judgment that they have developed on their own accord is greater than the Most High God's own judgment by placing this magistrate in her position. It's sad to me how many are willing and choosing to be hateful and reject God's judgment for people. That's the message. I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Bye.